now we're gonna go right into we're gonna introduce the man of the hour, Sampson McCormick. Again, that's a an openly black gay comedian, actor, director, and writer who is known for notable movies such as Love, The One You're With, A Different Direction, and Rules Blues. Give it up to Sampson. Oh, first off, I want to say thank you so much, Samson, for really joining us. He is a phenomenal man. He's an actor, writer. He has books. He has movies out here. He's been on Fox Soul. He's been on many different publications. Like he's been in the game for a long time, 20 years, and 20 years
Nice.
strong at that. And so we have the pleasure to interview with this amazing person. Welcome, Samson. Yes.
Thank you for
Welcome,
having me. You forgot
welcome.
to mention before any of that, I am a comedian.
Oh yeah, a comedian. That's comedian first and
Yeah,
foremost. Because
yeah.
I was looking at your one of your movies, and I truly enjoyed it. I'll tell you that Love, the one you're with.
Yes.
That was my husband and I both watched that. It was like that's actually pretty good, a good storyline, and I really love
Thank
the
you.
underlying message behind it. But we're gonna get jump into that real soon. So, and also wait before we forget, we got King Evolve here. I got
Glad you
you.
got it right. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good to be here. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna jump right into the questions real quick here. So let's kind of talk a little bit about where you're from. I know you're on the east. You're originally from the East Coast, and you're currently reside in the Los Angeles area, or is it California area?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
I'm in LA.
LA. Whew, I don't even know how you do it, baby. But so, what made you make that big transition?
Oh, it just kind of happened. I know when I was younger, I would always say I wanted to live in California, but I didn't think I was going to do it for real. And long story short, I started dating someone. And after a couple years of being together, he said he wanted to come back to California, and I moved here with him. And I've been here 10 years.
Oh wow, nice,
Nice, nice,
nice,
very nice.
man. So,
Love will
with
make you move.
I know, right? Because I'm like, you're going to one extreme cold climates to
Yeah,
the warm
yeah,
climate.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
where specifically are you from on the East Coast?
I'm from DC originally.
Oh, you're a DC nigga. No,
Mm.
you DC. Okay.
DC.
DC. Man,
Chocolate City.
everybody and their mama is like Obama's out there. Everybody dressed up. Everybody dressed up. They are. I was like,
Yes.
okay, Obama and Michelle, I see you. Come on
That's
now.
it.
A lot of them look
That's
like they were
it.
going to church every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
So I know that being a comedian and an openly gay comedian is that's hard because right now, I mean, how many openly gay comedians do you really know? I mean, besides in the last maybe 5, 7 years, maybe that you see more comedians coming out. Can you kind of describe to me a little bit of what does that look like? Growing up as a child, um, knowing this fact about yourself and trying to evolve into the career that you're in today.
Hmm.
That was deep, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it
Got
was.
Gotcha.
Let me let me
Gotcha.
let me let me
Yes.
spark up a blunt right quick. Let me
Go
get
ahead, get that
a
blood. He said, "What
Get
do you
that
want to
flow.
know?"
Get that mind flow on.
Oh, well, I've always known that I am gay. I wish that we lived in a society that encouraged people to just be who they are. I think I would
Mhm.
have avoided a lot of the what I didn't know was self-hatred. A lot of us, we don't know that we are taught to hate ourselves, but any part of you that you aren't able to openly express and embrace and just accept for what it is, you learn to hate it, not like it. You aren't connected with it. This really weird thing happened where I've never been ashamed internally about being gay, but I think many gay folks and many people who aren't straight uh, kind of live with this idea that if you could kind of assimilate to what everybody tells you in the church is okay, or what you see on television all the time is okay, that, life for you will be better or easier, if that makes sense.
Yes.
If you start dating some guys and all of them are assholes, you go, oh, well, if I could, if I was straight, I wouldn't have to go through this,
That's not
and
necessarily true.
it's not necessarily true,
Yeah, yeah.
and I would say all the time, like, oh, if I was straight, I would make a great father. No, I would make a great father now. And so
That's awesome.
as far as the sexuality part, I think even now at almost 40 years old, I'm still every day learning to embrace all those parts of me. As far as the humor comes in, humor was absolutely like a saving grace. I think for Black people especially, um, you know, if you look at where some of us have come from, humor has been the only thing that we've had.
That's it.
You
Yeah,
right.
that
You
and
ain't-
music.
You ain't
That
lying.
music and maybe a little
Yep.
Jesus,
Little Jesus.
um,
Bring it on to Jesus.
Come on, baby Jesus.
Well,
Love you.
baby Jesus.
so it's a layered question, but I think,
Yeah.
without getting too deep and without going on too long, um, it's just been a very challenging but rewarding journey of learning to accept self, and also constantly keep the trials and the experiences of life in positive perspective.
Nice. So, with that being said, did it and somehow hinder or enhance your job? I mean, as a comedian, as you start segueing into, really feeling more comfortable with yourself and really knowing yourself, did it come much easier for you? And if so, how is that? How so?
It came, I wouldn't say it came easier. I think as I gain more life experience, I think I'm gaining more clarity. Um, because, of course, most of us, we get into show business because hopefully we know we're talented, and hopefully if you are out there on stage, hopefully you do have a talent. Because back in the day, the audience would let you know.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I say all the time, nothing has made me rise up to be who I need to be in the world more than my career has. I got into it for one thing, and it seems like, the experience has been, yeah, you are a good comedian, but you also got to do this, and this if you want to have success, if you want to continue along. And so it's been very, very challenging at times. And at times I don't want to say I whine, but sometimes I'm like, God damn, because it's not
That's
always
what we do
pleasant.
too. Yeah.
It's not always pleasant, but it's I'm very proud of the person that I'm becoming. Okay.
So I have a question for you, Samson.
Mhm.
So you said sometimes it gets hard. What makes it hard? Is it the industry that's hard, or is it just the audience? Is it their interactions with you, the opportunity streams? What makes it really hard?
I like, even though I'm in, I call myself a creative entrepreneur. I don't like the term artist. I don't like that because it's so loose, so used so loosely now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I like I like stability. I like knowing a check is gonna come. Knowing that like every week
right.
X amount of money is gonna be here.
I'm gonna get paid.
I like knowing every such and such. I have a gig. Like I like security. I
Yeah,
like structure, and I've had to
yeah,
learn to have more faith than structure, and that's not easy all the time.
nice.
Um, and
Understandable.
then and so again, that's one of those things that's constantly calling you up. And
Yeah.
and I think one of the biggest lessons for me was learning to genuinely be happy for other people. I think as Black people,
Mm,
we aspire to certain things,
yeah.
and so when a lot of us are told, you know, there are two things that I think that I see happen with a lot of us, regardless as to what industry you get in, is if you
Yeah.
show up and you work really hard, and you know, basically you show up and you work yourself into the ground, you'll get a break some sort of way.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
and so what the reality is that most of the time that does not work. You know,
True. Very true.
you know, so you see a lot of especially our men. I think black women handle that a little bit better. Like black women know how to say fuck it.
Ask my husband, because I sure will be like, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that job.
Fuck that shit. Fuck that job. Fuck this. Fuck that. Fuck it.
My mental health is more important. Fuck that.
Exactly. Fuck that job.
Black women have a way of doing that better. You know, but with the men, I think men aren't encouraged to express our emotions or acknowledge our mental states. I think most men aren't really valued unless we can provide certain things.
That is true. Our earning potential is kind of who we are in society.
Yeah, you
And
know,
how we can
earning
provide,
potential,
yeah.
status, you know, that sort of thing. And so, you know, a lot of our men will work themselves basically into the ground, literally to death. And then it's like, okay, you kind of get replaced. And if you don't learn anything outside of that, I think it breeds a certain type of competition among us where we won't share resources. Like, you know, we won't share a lead, or if we get into a room, we won't bring somebody in the room with us. And I was like that when I was younger, not malicious, but like if I got onto, say, a show and somebody else wanted to get onto the show to promote a project they're working on, I would go, oh, I forgot, I got to find the people's email.
No, fuck that. I do that on purpose still. It's just
Some
people you just
exactly,
like, you be like,
well, I mean, it depends.
It really does.
Depends. You know, if it's somebody who, you know, you never hear from unless they want something from you,
Yes.
then no. But if it's somebody, and you know, y'all have had conversations while y'all are out there trying to make it happen, then of course, you know,
and y'all doing it together and helping each other.
Exactly. That's true.
You know, white people do that.
Oh, don't get me started on that, because like I just literally was talking to somebody, like I was trying to connect with other black people to get on the show and really try to help them with careers, and someone was like, can you tell me what this pertaining to? Like, bitch, can you just find out what I'm talking about, and then you can decide whether if you want to be dealing with this or not. I'm like, we're really bad on, like, legit, we're really bad with that networking and communication piece. And so we end up we miss out on a lot of opportunities. I was talking to somebody who somebody who does similar work that I do, and was like, and again, asking me what it's pertaining to. Is like, it discouraged me. Like, nigga, do I really want to help y'all? Do I really want to work with you at this point? It's just like, why? Like, we all have skill sets. We all have different knowledge that can be very valuable on both ends if utilized appropriately. And it's just like, it's very disheartening, and I see this all the time, especially in entertainment and even the corporate sector.
Corporate's like that too. Crabs in the barrel.
Yeah, very much so. You know, they feel like they made it, so they don't need to talk to you, but you're not maximizing your potential for the skill set I have and what we can help each other. It's a mutual relationship, and a lot of them have not understood that yet.
Yeah, that's something that I had to learn. You know, I think some of it is you know, again, and this goes back to a point that I was making a couple minutes ago, where we're kind of just handed like, here, all you got to do is work hard, and it's
that's not just it.
You got to learn stuff. You got to learn how businesses work. You got to learn. I mean, you got to unlearn certain things. You got to. It's so many different layers, and we don't usually get those. And then we're also expected to like leave home right away, and as soon as we leave home, start taking care of our parents and stuff like that. You know, so we don't get to like we kind of start off in a deficit. So
Mm.
that
Absolutely.
was one of my biggest
Absolutely.
things. It was, because I mean, I do have very lofty ambitions,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
I've also had to learn, in order to get there, you need to do this. So, just because you are successful and you want to exist on this level, that mean that some other people can exist and have success too. That stuff like that is stuff that I've had to learn. Cheer for
Yeah.
other people, be happy for other people, help other
Yeah.
people, even if it's somebody and their stuff takes off before yours. Be
Hmm.
genuinely happy for them.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't doubt yourself. You really have to do a lot of positive self-talk. It's been a lot and it
Hmm.
hasn't been easy, but you have to look at where we have come from, particularly as Black people. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, think our just 3 generations ago were sharecroppers and things like that.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
to
Absolutely.
make to make a group of people, surrender their lives and their freedom, do you know what you got to do to their minds?
Oh,
And
you have to
so,
Yes,
enslave
yes,
it. You got to
you
strip
do.
it down and enslave it.
Mhm.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
we're handed that, and so it's very. I'm not gonna lie, it's very painful to unlearn that. It's because I mean, it
Hmm.
can be easy to just coast along doing what you know, but
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
order to get to things that you see, and that's what makes it hurt too, because it's like there's a
Hmm.
level personally, and I think we can all agree with
Hmm.
this. There
Mhm.
are levels of
Hmm.
success that we know, especially Black people. We're geniuses. Most of
Yeah.
us are
Mhm.
brilliant.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Look at what we've done without the knowledge of how
Yeah.
the system works. And we're
Yeah.
creative. Do you
Yeah.
know what we could do if we learn how the system works?
Mhm. That's what they're trying
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
avoid.
Yeah.
They're like,
Exactly.
"No."
Yeah. But unfortunately for some of us, and I'm speaking about my own personal experience. Sometimes it's a lonely path, and I learned that that was a lesson that my mother taught me, was that your path is not going to be everybody's path. And
Mhm.
sometimes you're not going to be left a blueprint to follow someone else's path. You're just going to have to blaze one for yourself.
Yes,
And
and that
it
and
has been lonely.
Mhm.
and to real quick to make a point too, the hardest
Hmm.
thing was because
Hmm.
um this is me being very transparent,
We love
my
it.
and I don't want to say this like it I really, I don't want to say this, but I think sometimes we need to just name things.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
I was not supported by my family. When I
Okay.
accomplish something big, all of a sudden I have a family that I didn't know that I had.
Mm.
But as far as
Oh,
emotional
wow.
support,
Mhm.
stuff, and then some of us have parents who actively try to sabotage us.
Hmm.
And so if you have that, that can make it harder. Just all those things, and so when you have to overcome those sorts of challenges, initially your attitude is, especially when you've had to overcome them and you still aren't where you thought you might be by now, you it's hard when other people see what you're doing and they go, oh well, I'm inspired by you, and then there is a part of you that gets threatened by it, because it's like, wait, I'm still trying to get to this place, and then these people are like doing it too, and then I think it's ego that says, I fear this person getting ahead of me. And I've had to learn, I think a lot of our attitudes are, well, I had to work really hard. I had to go through this, so you got to do it too. And what I've learned is, if I would have had a family that supported me when I said, "Hey, this is a talent that I noticed that I have," and they
Mhm.
would have been like, "Well, baby boy, we got you." I would have had a community behind me. I would be much further. I think a lot happier in some ways. Um,
Hmm. Definitely.
Life would expand for us in many ways. And
Yeah.
so what I've had to learn to do is, once you learn the lessons and once you get to certain points, I think we kind of have an obligation to make it easier for other people.
I totally agree
Yes.
with you. Would you say that, with that being said, that that was kind of like a fuel to motivate you in your comedy as you know, you know, continue on in your career? Is that a motivating factor? Is there any other things that have motivated you along the way?
Hmm. I think what motivates, two things motivate me really.
Mhm.
I think we may all understand this. One of them is I think I'm like I said, I'm very ambitious. Like I'm very like every day there's this thing that I see, and it's like I have sunglasses on, and
Yeah.
this space that I see that I know I deserve to be
Yeah.
in a way that I should be using my talent, in a way that
Mhm.
I know I should be impacting the world. And when you see that every day and it hasn't yet landed in your physical reality, that is that can be, I don't want to call it painful, but it's like you're like, I have to do this. This is something that I have to do. That's what
It's that
I know I need to
motivation.
be
Yeah.
doing. Especially when you see other people getting things who maybe, I don't like to judge people's level of talent, but
I
you
do.
learn to say, you do. I try not to.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Word. I just judge your goof.
I do.
I try not
I love it. I do. Let them know, Mary.
I know, right? We'll go proceed.
but you know what I'm saying. You know, you try not to, but
Yeah.
especially in this
Mhm.
age of social media where it's like somebody can do something really dumb and they can get something you've been working towards for 10 or 15 years. That can be discouraging.
Yes, that can be.
So it's kind of that, it's like, you know, really becoming clear about this is something that I know I deserve to have. This is something that
Yeah.
belongs to me and I'm going to have it, you know.
Yeah.
And then secondly, I think when you've been, I don't identify with the idea of being an underdog, but I think, you know, when people haven't placed their bets on you, um, you know, what you learn, and again, this is something that I've learned, is there are people around you who, if you look close enough, they are kind of reflections of you. And I've learned that I'm talented enough. I have so much that it's my obligation to bring those folks up to. And so it's taken a lot of taming of the ego, because you do want it to be about you. But it's like it's also,
You got to
these are
give back.
people who are just as talented. These are people who
Mhm.
also have been overlooked. And so you gotta bring them up.
Yeah.
And
You
so
got to give back.
it's
Yeah.
just been a lot of learning.
Yeah.
I'm glad
I'm
that
my
you're the
brother's
bigger
keeper.
person. You're the bigger person on that one, because I probably would have been like, you know what? Fuck you and the rest of
Oh,
them. I'm
you
gonna
petty.
yeah, I'm super petty, you know?
Nigga.
Yeah. Sorry.
Petty.
But no, that's definitely the, you know, that's a bigger person in you. It take a bigger
Yeah.
person to acknowledge that, to recognize that, and practice that. Whereas sometimes with me, I get a little petty about it. I'm like, I don't know, I don't know. Should I be good or should I not?
Right.
But you also have to do the right
Yeah.
thing, right? Because
Absolutely.
that's where your blessings come in too. Because guess
Yeah.
what? God is seeing those things and He hears those things. He knows you. So yeah.
Yeah.
First off, thank you.